team leader of Pineapple Homes. Thank you all for coming. Today we're going to be covering digital marketing overall. And so if you guys don't know, this is Lexi Terrell. Please give her a round of applause. So Lexi runs the entire marketing department of Pineapple Homes, of our company here. So everything from digital marketing to social media to script writing to pay-per-click ads to email marketing, postal, print, anything that's printed or you see, she's kind of got her hand in with everything. Even with, for example, our market update videos that we put together, she's part of the writing process for the script. So she's been doing this for over about a decade now, give or take, right, Lexi? And we stole her from another real estate company a year or so, two ago. And I'm really glad we did, because she does an awesome job. And she makes sure everything looks good and works well. So today I'm actually going to give her the mic, and we're going to lead through a number of questions so you guys can take this information and apply one or two bits of it to your business. And so what I recommend to everybody is don't feel like you have to do everything. Because Ryan, for example, if you go home and you say, I'm going to implement everything in this packet today, you're either going to get frustrated or you're going to do everything really poorly. But for example, Stephanie, if you say, hey, this is a component in my business that I just need to implement this one piece of in this only one thing, you're going to have a lot better success. And the example I always say is you want to go deep on everything in your business, not wide. Because everybody is doing everything typically pretty average. But if you can find one or two components and do it well and really become a master of that thing, then you're going to reap the benefits of that. So let's get started.
Okay, let me find my packet.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. So Lexi, what is digital marketing?
Digital marketing, in its simplest form, is establishing an online presence. And so establishing a brand online that people will easily recognize and really, honestly, be able to easily find. That's the key to marketing, right? Anybody can build a website, but if nobody sees it, what help does that do you? But some different key aspects of digital marketing would be things like, of course, having a professional, mobile-friendly website, things like pay-per-click, or even leveraging your social media, email marketing, and honestly, you could go into just different ideas all day long, but that's the general basis of everything.
So everything that your consumers see online is digital marketing. And one of the first things she brought up, which is where you should start, for example, is, well, what is my brand? And then you take that brand and then it propagates to your marketing. You don't just market anything, you market your brand. So what does it mean to have a brand? And like, where do we start? What does that look like?
Yeah, so typically when you're establishing your brand, this could be for a big old company or this could just be for little old you. However you want to tackle it. But when you start a brand, the first thing that you want to do is identify what's your core values and what's your mission statement. I'm sure that you've heard this over and over again. But having a solid mission statement in a sentence, two at most, saying, this is what I do to help other people, this is my goal for my business, is probably the most important thing that you can do from your brand, aside from the pictures and the colors and the fonts and all of that. That's a big key thing. Yeah.
So maybe what we should all do right now at the very top of your page, everybody grab your pen. Did you hear that? Write this down. It's in simplest terms, what do you do and how are you different? And so at the top of your page, write, how are you different than every other person in the marketplace? And my first question is, are you even willing to write down how you're different? Because if you're not willing to write down how you're different, then I'd probably just skip this whole thing altogether.
And it's okay if you don't know off the top of your head, right? The best brands weren't built in a day, and eventually you're going to come into your own footing where you're like, wow, this is really where I shine. But more specifically, finding your niche. We've said this a million times. But your main source of business, whether you want to work with people who are moving from the mainland, or if you want to work with primarily military clients, or if you want to work over in Eva Beach and you don't really want to go off the west side at all. Finding that specific niche and making yourself an expert in communicating yourself to others, to complete strangers effectively, as an expert in that field is very important.
How long did it take for us to build our brand? Like, in reality, like, how long did it take from the day you started to, like, okay, we've got our logo, our mottos, our target market, like, how long did it actually take 5 people working on it every day?
I mean, honestly, you still work on it, right? Once you build your brand guidelines, it's not like, okay, if I have any more good ideas or any more insightful things to share with people, it's not in the brand guidelines, so I'm calling it a day, right? You consistently build your brand. I've been working for you guys for 2 years pretty much now, and from day one, we were constantly evolving and changing and shifting things to fit the needs of our clientele. And not only just our clientele, but our agents as well. Every agent has their own individual needs. That's why we sit down with our agents, even at Pineapple Homes, and we do those custom marketing plans with them, because every agent has their own niche. Every agent is different. Every agent has their own time that they can put into things, and their follow-up with things, their own schedule. So to answer your question, really, the 2 years that I've been working here, we've been building it.
Still ongoing.
And I think we have a pretty good brand, honestly. We're more of a boutique. We focus more on, rather than just getting all of these leads in, we focus more so on client concierge and experience, I think. Not only just customer experience, but agent experience as well. We really like to invest in both parties, because you lose one cog and the wheel doesn't turn. But years.
That's good. Is anybody brave enough to share what they wrote down about their unique selling proposition about themselves?
Ooh, who wants the mic? Yay! Wait, I'm coming.
I've lived all over the country, all over the U.S., coast to coast, as a spouse of a multi-branch service member. I know the emotions that go through the process of real estate, as I've gone through myself.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that's that's an amazing niche market that also has a lot of opportunity. Yeah, that's awesome.
Anybody else brave enough to take the mic?
If you won't share it here, then you might not want to share it with your clients. What do you got? There we go, Sam.
Hold on.
I love it.
Try, thank you. I'm 55, so I've retired from my previous job and transitioned. So I think that I understand the challenges of turning a new leaf, finding a new place to live, and doing that. I think a lot of people want to do that affordably, but also to live in a nice place. So I'd like to be a part of helping people do that.
Yeah.
Nice. Love that.
Achieving the island dream. We love it. Yeah, and there is no wrong answer when it comes to branding, alright? If you're like, I only service Italian families who invite me to their Sunday dinners, it's not a wrong answer. If it works, it works.
Perfect. Nice. And so let's say you're a newer agent, you're really just getting enveloped in the idea of branding and marketing and all of this first. What might be one of the first places that you start, like an easy first place to start?
For branding?
Just for marketing and branding overall.
For marketing and branding overall, okay. Really? So there's a statistic, and it's 9 out of 10 home buyers use the internet to buy their home. And you hear that and you're like, yeah, duh, right? 50% of those people use social media to find their house. So I think that building up, especially in today's day and age, a good place to start. And remember, jack of all trades means master of none, right? You can't just go and be like, I'm gonna do Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook. Focus on one first, get consistent with it, get comfortable with it, and then move on to the next one. But I think that really leveraging social media and then having that strong landing page, that strong website to back it up would be just the ultimate first step.
Okay. So what does it look like to have a strong website as an agent?
Yeah, so you have a few different options when it comes to websites as a real estate agent. We've spent actually a good bit exploring ours before we decided on one. Even then, I think we're still, but that's a different story. So you can have more of a generic one. There's KV Core, and those more so are ones that people will supply to you. They're pretty simple, right? You got your home search portal. Maybe you got your bio up on there, some few featured listings, and a contact me form, right? Then you have the more custom build options. I used to do web development back before this job too, and we built a lot of custom real estate websites. And what that looks like is, number one, 80% of those 9 out of 10 people, I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you, I know, but numbers typically stick pretty well. Those 9 out of 10 people, 80% of those people were looking on their phone. So number one, when you build a good website, is you need to make sure that it is mobile friendly. Think about it. When you're off the clock and you're just like browsing, you're shopping on Shein or Amazon, you don't use your desktop. You don't. You use your phone. I mean, yeah, it's home. You use your phone. So you want to make sure that that's mobile friendly. It feeds right. The UI is all good. Another thing with.
Can I interject on that?
Yeah.
Why is it important for the agent to have a custom branded website with a search portal versus just having your clients go on, whether it's highcentral.com or Zillow.com or even Redfin.com? Like, why should I be sending them to my website? Why should I spend the time to build it versus any one of the other portals that already exist that I can just use?
Yeah, 100%. So number one, your call to actions on your custom website versus a generic. If you get a generic, they're going to be few and far in between. You're going to have your one contact page, and then at the very, very bottom of your website, you're going to have your little tiny phone number underlined. You can click it and call you. Your call to actions are super important on your website. You want to have at least one on every page. Click here for this, call me here, email me here. You're going to be able to have a lot more design flexibility with something like that. Another really important thing about having a custom built website, in my opinion, is just visibility. When you are working with a company that says, we're going to give you a template for a website, put your name, you put your picture, we'll call it a day, 9 times out of 10, those websites you're not going to find on Google. When you search up Hawaii real estate agent, I don't even know if you're going to be on the 40th page, because they don't really have that that search engine optimization that a custom built website would allow you to do. And we can go into SEO all day. I'll talk to you about it for the next week and a half. But with a custom built website, you're able to do things like geotag your photos, so that when you list out a house for sale in Mililani and someone puts Mililani house for sale, your photo is like meta tagged, so that that photo will pop up in their search results. You can control things like your meta descriptions, and you're able to use a lot more keywords than what your generic one would do as well. You're able to do things like blogging, which helps promote your business as well online. So if someone says, how do I move my dog from North Carolina to Hawaii, and you have that answer on your real estate website, where are they going to take you? Your real estate website.
So what I'm hearing a lot of is, not only is it great for exposure, because the example we've talked about is if people Google, like, I won't even go to a taco restaurant without Googling them. I will not spend $3 or $4 on tacos without making sure it's something that's well reviewed on Yelp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm checking out the menu at least 3 times before I walk through your establishment.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're gonna call you. They're gonna Google your name before anything else. And if all that pops up is a Facebook profile page of you out at the bar or in college,
Get drunk.
Or even just like
drunk, yeah.
your generic website. I've seen real estate websites on this island. We'll never call it any name. I'm joking. But I've literally seen a real estate website on the island, and the meta description. When you go on Google, you know how when you look up Waikiki Yacht Club, right? You look up Waikiki Yacht Club, it says it's underlined. Underneath, it's like Waikiki Yacht Club was established in 18 and it's like a great prestige, yes. That meta description will be like houses, real estate, web theme template, 2001.
Webmaster.
Yeah, Webmaster Express. It's like, what is that, you know?
And
This is
see-
real estate.
So it's not only is it going to be used for exposure, because they will Google you, Lex, and they will also, it's lead generation, as she's saying. If they're going to go on one of these portals,
Yeah.
if they're on Zillow,
Yeah.
who does it? And let's say you're not paying Zillow $10,000 a month, and they click on your listing, does that lead go to you?
Not a guarantee.
Not a guarantee. Because Zillow is definitely not, Aaron, I'm sure Zillow's not sending you every single client they get.
Nope.
However, if you have a custom branded website, who's in control of that?
Yeah, custom branded website is more so, I would say, for actually generating leads and providing like an actionable resource for your clients. And then the more generic ones that companies you'll see provide you, those more so are like landing pages for after you capture the lead to bring them back to your website and then give them that resource as kind of like an afterthought.
So let's say now I've gone on one of these custom built websites. I spent, and by the way, you can get away with this for probably less than what, $1,500 to have something like.
Yeah, I mean, I've built real estate websites for anywhere from like $1,500 to like $8,000. So it really just depends on how much you want to put into it, and also the level of experience that the company you're working with has, and the support that they offer as well.
Okay, so let's say somebody went out, they built themselves a custom website, they spent $1,500, they made it work, but of course you're not going to rank on Google on day one. What are some other ways that you can use to generate traffic to get leads to convert?
Yeah, so once you have that website all nice and pretty, the first thing that you should really do is you should connect it to a Google My Business page. And I know we've all seen Google My Business pages. They're awesome. They literally pop up a little block and they're like, call, website, email. Just click the button, done. We love the convenience, especially in today's day and age. So I would definitely link a Google My Business site to your website. I would definitely use it for all that it's worth, right? You put your pictures up, you put your name up, put your phone up, call it a day. Well, Google My Business also has FAQs on there that you can ask yourself a question and pretend to be someone else. Like, my name is Shirley from Texas, and I was wondering X, Y. You can do that, It doesn't look that obvious, but you answer those frequently asked questions, and you consistently post images and things like that, updates, market updates, all of that fun stuff. And Google is going to respond and say, wow, this company is super active. This company has posted something every week for the last 6 months. They must be doing some work out there. So you know what? When someone looks up real estate in Hawaii, I'm not going to match them with someone who's been inactive on their Google page for the past year. I'm going to put the person that's been posting everything consistently for weeks on end, for months on end. I'm going to put that to the front of the line at them. They reward consistency. That's pretty much every social media Google platform that there is now. That would be the first thing I would do. After that, SEO is tricky. I would say that, usually you're better off just kind of hiring somebody who's got the years of experience and knows what they're doing. But, YouTube Academy these days, get your online degree in whatever you want, however long you want to. And you can definitely try it out and you can see where things work. But definitely track your results. Google has this really cool tool. It's called Google Analytics, and I don't see enough pins moving right now because everybody should be writing that one down. Google Analytics, it is free, F-R-E-E. Everyone should be using it. It will provide you real-time updates on not only when people are using your website, the hour blocks that people are using your website most, the sources that they're coming from to get to your website, the links that are most popular on your website, the age range, demographics, and every little user profile information you could ever want on who exactly is using your website.
So here's what we've got, right? Have some form of custom website for 2 reasons. 1, exposure, because we know they're going to Google you. We know this. We know, Ryan, that they're going to Google your full name, Realtor Hawaii, and they're going to click the very first link that pops up. So that's step 1. Step 2 is we need to now establish this website in some form of lead generation model. Meaning, all that means is when somebody new comes to your website, Kenji, they have an option to say, talk to an agent, click here, or enter your name and number so that you know they're interested and they can let you know. And then if you were to take it a step further, Andrea, you could then install some type of tracking software, Google Analytics, to understand who your consumers are, where they're coming from, and what they're looking at. So then you can build a website form to generate more leads. Now, please understand, the whole purpose of every single component that we're reviewing today is to do what? Generate leads. That's what we're trying to do. I hear a lot of people say, well, I want to have a good brand, or I want to have this. You know how the best way to have a really good brand and a strong business is? It's not to just have people know about you, because there's a lot of companies that you know about that you never use. For example, who here knows about Skechers Shoe Company? When is the last time you went inside of a Skechers store? You thought you were going to go in. Do you know of them? Do they have a strong brand? Yeah. Are they getting your money? No. This is a business. And so the purpose of your website and your brand is to do what? Generate leads. That's what you're trying to do. That is what you're trying to either find buyers that say, hey Lex, will you help me? Or, hey Aaron, will you come list my house? That's what you're looking for, because if you're not selling homes, all of this is kind of pointless.
No, you're all good. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways that we can go about this too. Building backlinks, that's another one that I have written down on there for you guys. Backlinks are basically like collabs, but simpler. It's like, you know, when you like reach out to let's think in terms of influencers, right? Influencer reaches out to company, hi company, I'm having a birthday party. If you make me a cake, I will share it with my 25,000 followers. The company's like, oh, okay, yeah. You share me, share my name, right? So when you go to another company or they have another company, the goal of this website is you want to optimize your content. Yes, you're going to have real estate related content, but there's also other content that you can have that would be a really, really helpful resource to have when living on this island. Could you guys maybe think of anything that aside from just house listings that you can put on your real estate website that might help your potential client who is moving to this island, is on this island, involved in the community on this island, right?
Contractor links.
Yeah, contractors, lenders, a little bit. Let's think about something a little bit more fun. Have you ever thought about event calendars? What's going on in Oahu? You know? If you have that consistent resource and they know, oh, Devin on his website uploads every month a new event calendar and I'm going to check it every month. You want to optimize that kind of website content. And then the backlink going back to that is saying, okay, yeah, Devin has this event calendar on his link, and I'm a reporter for whatever. I'm going to put his event calendar link on my website. And then now Google is like, oh, whoa, this link is going everywhere. This must be really useful information. And they're going to push your website up even more. Yeah.
Nice. No, that's great. That's great. And so let's say somebody in this room let's say they're not comfortable delving into the world of digital marketing with websites. You touched on social media.
Yeah.
Now let's switch a little bit to, okay, what ways can we as agents generate leads through social media, and what does that even look like?
Yeah, so if you're like, all right, this is too much typing right now, I just want to throw money at something and go for a little bit, at least for a little bit. You're still going to have to check back in, guys. I don't want any empty promises. You want to go to your pay-per-clicks. That's also a great way to generate leads. We found some good success in Google pay-per-click, actually. So Google knows your search history. You ever watch a TikTok and you're like, oh man, I really need a pair of flip-flops, and then all of a sudden you have like 50 videos and you're like, get these flip-flops are the best flip-flops. Yeah, Google's kind of the same way. So they're like, oh, this person's looking for houses and has been looking for houses, but now they're looking for curtains, all right? I need to remind them that they're still looking for houses. So in the side little banners and the little squares on the sides of these websites, you have your Google ads. These are your Google pay-per-click ads. They're called pay-per-click because you pay per click that you get on the website. Isn't that neat? But a cool thing about Google pay-per-click, kind of going back to your website analytics and something that is really fun to use. So when you do Google pay-per-click, you kind of base it, you base it off of your region, right? So you're saying, I want people in Mililani, Eva Beach, Kapolei, whatever, to see my pay-per-click ads, all right? So then you go in your handy-dandy Google Analytics, and you're like, wow, there's a lot of potential home sellers or buyers that are out in Waianae right now. Like, I see on my traffic that a lot of people are in Waianae and Waikiki, and they're looking and they're scrolling. So I'm going to take my pay-per-click regions, and I'm going to move that to Waianae, because people are looking out there, you know? That's just like top of my head, whatever. But that's a cool resource that you can kind of go back to and use. And I know it's a lot of that I'm throwing at your heads right now, so if you have a question,
please let me know. I don't want anyone to be confused.
So for context, no, that's great. That's exactly it. So for context, if you have, whether it's website, social media, you can just ask Google to advertise it to certain people in certain areas. And so, for example, if Aaron goes on and types in homes for sale in Waianae, Lexi could set it up so the first website that Aaron sees is what? Is our website.
Little sponsored tag on the
And
top.
then when Aaron clicks on us, what do? We give Google money, pay per click. And so if Aaron doesn't click on us, what's great about this compared to Facebook ads is now we only give Google money when somebody comes to our website or when somebody signs up. And so moving on from maybe online leads and online lead ads, going down the route of social media, if let's say the newer agents are looking to start their first social media account, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Like what recommendations, digital marketing, would you have for a new agent starting one of those accounts?
Okay.
And where should they take?
Yeah, so for number one, choose the platform to start on. And choose really whether you want to do video content or photo content. Short form video content is the best thing since sliced bread.
What is short form video content?
A minute or less,
Okay.
pretty much. Ideally, 30 seconds or less. That's people's brains these days, you know what I mean? I mean, it's mine too. You don't watch a video for more than 30 seconds unless it's really good stuff. But yeah, so decide what you want to do. Decide what it is you want to talk about. If you
So what are some examples that anybody could talk about?
You could do something more informational. There's a few focus verticals when it comes to, thank you. There's a few focus verticals when it comes to social media that you can do. I had them on a packet before. It was the previous social media panel. It's like educational, informational. There's like community service ones, things like that. But just off the top of my head, you can talk about the different kind of loans that you can use, maybe the credit scores you need to buy a home. You can talk about your like market updates in specific areas. You can do local business highlights. You could even do, this is what I'm wearing today for my showings. I love those videos.
You could.
If you're a little fashionista, boys, I'm looking at you too. I am. Because let me tell you, my boyfriend, he likes to look at like other men's clothing thing and be like, oh wow, I need to buy this. Just saying, like, oh, I need to be friends with this person, right? So you can even do, this is my outfit for the day. I got a day full of showings. Look how cute that I look. And people's gonna go, where'd you buy this at? And I'm like, oh, here. And you know what? I'm gonna put an Amazon shopping link page on my website for you guys just to see everything that I buy. And you have to fill out my lead contact form before you see any of that. But yeah, you could go so many ways with it. But the most important thing for it is it to be fun for you. Because the key to success in social media is consistency. And if you are not having fun, you are not going to do it. You're not going to want to do it. No, you're not going to do it if you're not having fun with it. So find something fun, engaging, and exciting, or maybe even a little bit dynamic, and take all three of those ideas and throw them on your page. But establish what it is you want to do, or where it is you want to be, what you want to say, and then make your filming schedule, and then do your posting schedule.
That's really good. Who here has posted on social media at least once in their life? Okay. Who here has said they were going to post more on social media and then did not actually post more on social media? Okay, most of us, yeah. So let's just go around the room maybe. Let's get some ideas around, you're not going to steal anything. Everything that's ever said in this room, nobody's going to steal your great ideas. I promise it's already been done.
In college, I'm going to just be real with you guys. In college, my professors told me this all the time. No idea is a new idea. It isn't. It's just an idea that somebody took and either improved or did worse at. There's no such thing as a new idea, really.
So what are some ideas around social media content that you think could be interesting or fun to make? Just throw it out there. What do you got, Aaron?
Well, I always like to make it look like I'm working a lot, right? So, and like I'm actually at a desk. So I always want like my coworkers to take a picture of me. I'm at the desk, I'm hard at work, or I have like some folders in front of me.
Nice.
So it makes it look like I'm working hard, and then I post it, and people think I work hard. I do, but you know, you got image is reality.
Nice. No, I love
Yeah,
it. I
that's
love
great.
it. Okay. What else?
I'm coming.
Hey, I don't love doing social media videos of myself, so I did a short little interview with a loan officer that I often work with, just to make her do most of the talking. We talked about pre-qual and pre-approval process.
So very informational, right?
Yeah.
And using a third party, and I'm sure they posted on their platform.
Side note on something like, you got an idea?
No, that's a good idea.
A side note, if you don't like showing your face on a video, that's okay. Let me tell you about these little videos that I'm obsessed with lately, alright? They're story times, but they're not just any story time, okay? There's story time and somebody is doing a task. You won't at most see their hand. So it's literally a video and somebody's making an apple pie. They're just making an apple pie, you know? And you're like, this is nice, this is therapeutic. And they're like, let me tell you about this client that almost scammed me out of $10,000. And you're like, whoa. Now I get to watch something relaxing and listen to some tea. You know what I mean? So you can do videos like that. And these videos have millions of views. And they're just making apple pie and talking. You know, you don't have to show your face. Sometimes that works for people, right? You ever heard of Marshmallows? Never showed his face, and look how popular he is. That works for people, the mystery of it all. So there's different ways that you can work around your camera fright or whatever.
I love that. All right, one more idea. What do you guys think? What's one more idea around social? Giovanni.
Doing a series of I guess right now I'm doing a series of somebody like my camera guy following me around and asking me questions like, oh, what's a VA loan, or what's the next one we did? Difference between closing costs and down payment. So just different series of just somebody following you and asking you questions.
And those are mostly, are they educational focused or more
For the
entertainment?
most part, yeah, educational. Yeah.
Cool.
You
So
can also do
you're,
entertainment.
so you're posing yourself as an expert in that field. It sounds all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. Do you have an idea?
I collect pre-CPS record electric guitar amps.
Oh, cool.
But they're too heavy for me to lift. So I'm getting old. So I figured I want to loan these, so I want to build a website to sell it so I could, get clients from the website that are interested in real estate too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%, and I'm sure there's so much that you can go into with that as well.
Yeah.
If you're also ever questioning, you're like, I don't know, I've thought about it, and I've seen like 16 videos on different kind of loan types and stuff, and you're like, all right, I don't know, I want to bring something new to the table. You don't really have to go far to look for content ideas. Ever heard of Reddit? For real. I love that place, honestly. I get great ideas and great information from there. Of course, you fact check it, but answerthepublic.com. You go to the real estate tags or Hawaii tags or whatever really it is you want to do, and you can see what people are asking and how many people are asking it. Yeah.
The Reddit thing reminded me, I follow a lot of Facebook pages, and so there's always people posting like, different gripes or things, and those are good, I think, good topics to riff off of also.
Oh, do you know anyone that can build websites to sell collector amps?
Yeah, there's a few local companies on island I can talk to you about later that could be able to help out.
The last thing too is, how when you guys Google something, for example, what's the weather going to be like XYZ, and there's on Google those drop downs, the little arrows that you can click and it'll show you another question that's kind of relevant. Those are the most common questions that Google gets. And so what would be a really great thing to make videos about are what gets Googled the most. And if it's getting Googled the most and you make a video about it, you're bound to have more traffic than questions people typically are not asking.
Make sure to hashtag your stuff too, guys. That's how you will find anything, really, on your algorithm. Always hashtag FYP, every time on TikTok. Always, just do it.
Anything to add with social before email marketing?
No, not really. Does anybody have any questions so far? Cool. I must either be doing a really good job or a really bad job, so.
Okay, so we've covered. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So according to your study, what's the best time to post on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
Okay.
Google. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's saying, from what I know, what is the best posting time? My answer, it varies. It varies by platform and it varies by account. Instagram, if you have a business page on Instagram, which every one of you guys should have a business page on Instagram, it gives you some cool creator insights. But you go to those creator insights and it will literally tell you, 12 a.m., 12 p.m., or whatever, 12 to 12, 24-hour day. Here's a bar graph showing your engagement by each hour block. And you can see on there when your personal best posting time is. There's other different little platforms and things that you can use to help you get those insights too. I find, when I was on the mainland, it used to be like 6 o'clock was the hot spot. Now for me, it's more so in the mornings. 9 a.m., maybe 8 if I'm feeling a little spicy. But yeah, it depends. It depends.
That's a good question now.
Thank you.
What's up?
So we focus on one social media platform. And like, let's say it's Instagram, and then they look for you on Facebook, or how do you think that's received? Like, if that's the only place you can be found, if that makes sense.
A lot of people these days, a lot of influencers these days, you can see too, they typically, they'll have some kind of presence on all of the different social media platforms, but there's plenty of people on TikTok, right, who have like 6 million followers on TikTok, and then you finally search and you finally find the Instagram page and like 5,000 followers. You know what I mean? So it's not a bad look. It really isn't. And let's say if you focus on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, you can always do one of my favorite things in the world: recycle content. Recycling content. So let's say you've just only been posting on TikTok for a few months, right? And you're like, all right, I want to move it over to Instagram Reels. You can just take your videos, right? And you can move it on over to Instagram Reels and you can post it there. Or let's say you have a bigger video, right? And you're like, my top 3 favorite restaurants in Waikiki, all right? You did this form video, right? Well, guess what? You got 4 videos out of that one video because you have your long form and then you have 3 short form videos on 3 different restaurant highlights that you've also made too. That's recycling content. It's basically like, taking what you already have and then taking out little bits and pieces and throwing it in the editing room and presenting it as something new.
What if you build a website for your hobbies and then have it lead into your real estate website?
Yeah, are you more so thinking like this is just what I like to do, or here are like the different companies that I use? I like to go skydiving, so here's what I like to go skydiving with, I would always, you can definitely do it. You can say, these are some of my favorite activities: family activities, couples activities, single people activities, children activities.
Or some people write blogs and then do almost everything they're doing every day.
Yeah, blogs are great. Blogs are a great way to help boost your SEO and just be a valuable resource for your potential clients, right? We do blogs too. And basically what you do is you focus on a topic and then you throw in some super, super heavy keywords so that when people ask similar questions in the related area, your blog will pop up. That's why it's also important to have a custom website versus a generic one when it comes to blogs, because your blogs won't even pop up on Google if they're 9 times out of 10.
So you could use a hobby to get leads, or like a hobby website to get leads.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea, right? You never know until you try it. But really just more so you want to provide value to your clients, right? You can say, I like to do X, Y, and Z, right? But they're like, okay, well, I like, windsurfing too, but like, where can I get the stuff to do it, right? You want to have the resources there. You want to provide that for them so they don't need to go anywhere else.
Email marketing.
Email marketing.
So start from the very simple. Like, what is email marketing?
Email marketing is a beast. It's my favorite part of the week.
Like, what is it? What is the purpose of it? And then how do you go about it?
The purpose of email marketing is to basically keep consistent touches with your potential clients, right? Most of the time when you call somebody up and they're like, maybe they're probably a few months out from actually transacting, right? So you want to keep in touch with them and present that value to them. So we do weekly emails. So every Thursday, clients, potential clients, past, whatever, whoever's on the list, they get an email from us. This email consists of helpful video content, event calendars, exclusive listings, sometimes a local business highlight, polls that they can respond to that help us a lot. Actually, we just had like 400 people respond to one of our polls the other week, which is awesome. But yeah, email marketing is basically keeping a consistent touch with your potential client base.
So would it be safe to say that newsletters and email marketing are kind of the same thing, in a way?
Yeah, in a way. Email marketing, you can segment it in so many different ways, right? You can do just one general database kind of email with the same kind of format and send it out every week. Or you can additionally, on top of that, you can do something a little bit more custom and you go, okay, these are all my people that are going to transact in this kind of price range, right? So I'm going to give them this kind of content. And these are my people, you're fine. These are my people who are a little bit further out or they're maybe off island thinking about moving on island. So I'm going to give them more custom curated content towards what the Hawaii has to offer and things to help you or to consider things if you want to move over here, things to keep in mind. You can go as detailed and in depth with it, with email marketing as you want, or you can keep it as general as you want.
So let's say as a new agent breaking into the business, less than 5 years in industry, you probably have a number of clients' emails, leads emails, even vendors' emails. Like, what would be the very first place to start? Like,
Yeah.
let's say they're like, okay, I want to make this part of my business. What do I do next?
Yeah, so first things first, right? You need to find a server. I put a bunch of different email tools on that handy dandy packet there in front of you. We use Constant Contact. We're toying with the idea of moving to SendGrid. But those two are like those are the big kahunas on campus. SendGrid and Constant Contact. So choose one of those. You can even do a free version of MailChimp or whatever. You can look into the little differences between, the little branding differences between all of them, but decide on a server, upload your contact list. You want to be extra spicy with it, all right? You go on Zapier, right, and you automate every time a new lead populates and follow-up boss or whatever CRM you use, and then it automatically goes into there. That's a little bit more complicated, but you can do that. Zapier.
Okay, so let's bring it down. When we say server, what is that?
The platform that you use to send out these mass emails.
So you're probably not going to just do this from your yahoo.com or your Gmail account, is that right?
You could, but that would suck.
Oh, okay, got
That
it.
would suck.
Okay.
It would suck.
So let's say I don't even know what a surveyor is. What's one website that I could use to send out all these emails?
Constant Contact.
Constant Contact?
Yes, SurveyMonkey is not so much of like an email, like mass email marketing thing. More so just like getting responses back.
Most of you
Constant
guys
Contact.
have probably heard of MailChimp.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
They have a free sign up. I think if you have less than a certain amount of people, they have a freemium feature. And so if I have maybe a list of 500 names and emails, could I just get a MailChimp account and just send out an email for the most part? Is that?
Right? You know, in theory, you can just do whatever you want, but that's just not the reality of things, unfortunately. We have a specific format that we use for our email marketing. We're actually toying with the idea of just moving some things around, but we have like a 35% open rate, which is really, really good. The industry standard is like under 20. So, just saying. Should we let them in on the template? Should we let them in on the format? Alright guys, big secrets being revealed here. Yeah, so this is the format that we use. This is the format that people who are even more experienced than me have told us has worked for them, so we used it and it did. It worked really well. You're gonna start with video. Video is the highest converting thing that you can possibly use in today's day and age. You're gonna start with a video. You're gonna say it's either your market update. It could be something like frequently asked questions, or it can be, oh, check out this freaking restaurant. Lots of people love the restaurant things that we use. Yeah, Autumn?
And then how long would you recommend?
Like,
Video.
for video, I mean, for video content, it's whatever. It's just more so getting people to try and engage with it. I mean, short form video content's always good, but like if you want to throw in like a 5-minute video on like a cool hike that you like, do it, right? It's people like that kind of stuff. I find that when we post things like that are more Hawaii centric, people really engage with that more. So you're gonna do that. And then you're gonna follow it up with a piece of news, specifically if that video wasn't as news related, like more informational, you know what I mean? And more so entertainment. So you find a piece of related real estate news or just any kind of resource that you think that your clients would benefit from knowing. Then you're gonna do events, upcoming events. We find that a lot of people really like that and like save the little image that we use for our event calendar, which is really cool. But we do monthly event calendars and those people really like those. And after that, we do our exclusive listings. These are all of our brokerage's listings. And underneath that, we have this really cool little poll and it says, we specialize in finding off-market properties for our clients. Would you like to receive a list? Yes or yes. We don't even give them the option to say no. It's yes, exclamation point, or absolutely with 2 exclamation points. And we literally got like 400 people the other week responding to it, which was wild. That was awesome. But those little engagement things, so what I do is I go through, I review it, I find out who responded to it, I find out which agent that lead belongs to, and then I send them out a list of all the people that said they want that list. I send it to them and call it a day. You got a conversation started. After that, we end things off with either another piece of news or another video. So if, like, let's say we posted the market update last week, I'll typically put the market update in at the bottom again this time. But it can be anything else too, like we mentioned before. Then you put your footer with all of your information, contact us, and all of that. When it comes to emails too, a lot of people, your email subject line is just as important, if not more important, than the email content itself. You actually want to get them to open up the email, right? So you don't want to spam them and be like, free offer here, click now, but you're not going to click that, right? Because it's spammy. But if you're just like, Lex, I got some important news to share. You're like, oh my God, I just got some important news to share. I need to know this news. So you open it and you're like, oh wow, new affordable housing law. And you're like, oh, you know what, this was important news that she needed to share with me. This is pretty cool. You scroll down. I find that when Constant Contact has this really cool tool where when you put in your contact, you have your first name, last name, email, phone, whatever, you can put in their first name in the email or the subject line. When you do that, people tend to respond better. So, Melody, check out this cool house I think you might like. You're going to click that because it's personalized towards you. But yeah, so your email subject line and personalization on those kinds of things to make it feel less mass-produced and more so intimate, I guess you could say, is just as important.
All right, I know that is a lot. And Lexi is a powerhouse of information that knows more than everybody in this room combined sometimes. We're gonna wrap up. Does anybody have questions around digital marketing for Lexi before we wrap it up? 1 or 2 questions. Could be covering email marketing, could be covering the social media, could be content ideas, could be tools, platforms. What do you got, Ryan?
When you're doing blogs on your website, where are those appearing?
When you're doing blogs for your website, where are those appearing?
Where are people seeing them?
It depends. Right, so if you, going back to that more business pushing that generic website towards you and then that custom website, if you have a custom website, you're going to be able to do meta tags, keywords, descriptions, and things like that to where it would populate on a Google search. If you have a more generic website, it wouldn't. Now, just to say, if I tell you, you start doing blogs and then if someone Googles this and it can pop up on Google search, that is not a guarantee that you're going to be 1 week into blogging, right? And then you're going to be the first page, first result in your first month of doing this, all right? It takes dedication and it takes consistency, companies literally dedicate their whole entire lives to literally just getting people in the first 3 results on Google. But you can, it just really depends. If you have a custom built website, it can populate it in Google search. You can also populate it on your homepage, and you can have like a little carousel thing, or however it is you want to display it, that are showing either, you know, most frequently asked questions explained, or my most recent news article, and things like that as well.
Gio.
You guys using landing pages and squeeze pages? If so, where are you placing them strategically to get the most leads?
Landing pages. So we are doing some more work actually on our website. We have a custom website, but we want it to be even more custom. Because that's what we do. So landing pages, typically when you have like, you know, a pay-per-click advertisement or something like that, you want to have a good solid landing page for them to go back on. When you send, let's say someone responds to an email thing and you send it to an agent and they're like, okay, check this out, like those kinds of landing pages and stuff too, that are more so agent-centric, so you have their agent profile information next to every listing and things like that. But yeah, I mean, landing pages really just for our
main IDX primarily. Yeah, we do like a squeeze, so when they try and look at properties, after a certain amount of clicks, then it forces a sign up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it depends if they've registered or not.
Yeah.
All right, any last minute questions?
I'll be here all day.
Right. Yeah.
I have a question. The reason I did not do lots of like digital advertisement because for Facebook I only have a few friends I link to. Like Instagram, I only have a few friends that link to me. So how do I export to more people who does not know me? I mean, you know.
Yeah, so are you talking more so on like paid advertising? Are you talking like organic growth? Organic growth?
For my Facebook, I only have a few friends, right?
Yeah.
But nobody else can see my.
So if we're talking specifically about Facebook, I'm actually really good friends with this girl who literally goes viral like every hour on the hour. I love her. She's really nice. But she does Facebook, and literally what she does is she's like, imagine this, and she puts a bunch of really cool pictures, and then her friends kind of share it, right? Because it's the vibe. Share. That's the best. If you love somebody and you see they're working hard on social media, share their post. All right, share it. Because it's better than a like. It's better than a comment. Sharing their post. But you want to make something that's shareable. Something that's people are like, yeah, I vibe with this, or other people should know this kind of information. And that's really how she did it. I mean, she literally just posted something yesterday, and she was just like, look at this cool little canopy thing for the backyard. Here it is in 6 different colors. And she had like 10,000 shares in like the first hour that she put it. Because people were just like, wow, sick, I need this boyfriend, tag my boyfriend, tag my mom, whatever, right? But yeah, really posting content that is valuable, relatable, shareable, or just really resonates with your people, whatever that may be.
Good question. So what I'm hearing is make good quality content that people care about, right? And put the time into it. Cool. Can we all please give a huge round of applause? Thank you very much, Alexi. All right, we are wrapping up. Next week we are covering some of the motivations and mindsets and things that we really try and do in the real estate industry, and in our jobs to keep ourselves, our agents, our group motivated. Because it certainly can be a little demoralizing, this industry sometimes. So that is next week. And everybody else, really good job. I'm going to kick you all out now. So thank you all for coming. Take care. Good luck.